Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live. We're a little over 2 weeks away from the premiere, and recently I read an article in tvguide.com and I saw an interview on comicbook.com that I want to talk about. But before we get into this, I want to give you a warning. This could contain spoilers for the show, so if you want to click away, that's fine. Maybe come back later, but I'm going to give you a countdown. 1, 2, 3, and now we're going to get into it. Alright, so I think we will start with the TV Guide stuff first, and then we'll go on to the comicbook.com stuff. But in the TV Guide article that I read, it hints to some things that may happen in the show, and it looks at some things that happen in the comic book. It'll just happen a slightly different way. So the header to this TV Guide article that I read said, "The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, Andrew Lincoln alludes to a horrific start for Rick Grimes. He also calls the story a love story." So already I was thinking I knew what he was talking about, but then you get into the article, you get about halfway through, and you get this quote. Now here's where the spoilers come in, so I'm going to give you one more chance to click away if you don't want to know anything heading into the show. During one of his escape attempts, Rick does something that's a remix of an important moment from the comics. It never happened to him on the show, but fans will be excited to see how it happens in The Ones Who Live. There's already rampant speculation online about something terrible happening to Rick after the release of the trailer. We won't spoil it here, but Lincoln did allude to it during the panel. In the first 3 or 4 minutes of the whole series, there's something truly horrific that happens, he said. He compared it to the shocking and horrifying opening of The Walking Dead's pilot, where Rick shoots a zombified girl, in how it establishes an intense tone for the show. Now, this pretty much solidified what I thought was what they were talking about reading this. And if you don't know, if you're just familiar with the Walking Dead as far as the TV shows go, in the comic book, when you get to the governor arc, Rick loses his hand. It's chopped off by the governor. Now, they never did this in the show. I know Andrew Lincoln pushed for this, but I think the reason they didn't do it had something to do with difficulties in filming and maybe budget of the show. But this is clearly, this is what they're talking about, I feel like. I mean, even if you look at the trailer for The Ones Who Live, there are moments where it looks like they're trying to hide Rick's hand, so it'll be more of a shocking reveal when you see it happen. Okay, so now we're going to shift a little bit, and we're going to talk about the comicbook.com interview. And one of the places in the interview that I thought was really interesting was that they're talking about how this show feels different from the main show, and as far as filming goes. And Andrew Lincoln and Denai Guerrero are talking about how they have a lot of the same behind the scenes crew members working, and it is mentioned that Rick has a new right-hand man, and if you watch, Andrew and I look at each other and they kind of chuckle, and then he says, "Can I talk about the first scene?" And she says, "No, no, 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 no." And I think, again, that's alluding to that horrific scene where Rick is going to get his right hand chopped off. I think that's the reason they were kind of chuckling when he mentioned right hand. And I could be wrong; it could be the left hand, but I think that's what I got from that. We will have to wait and see. I mean, we can talk about how will he lose his hand. I don't know. Could he be bitten and they have to chop it off to save his life? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to do that. I think this is going to be more of a punishment for Rick trying to escape. I don't know if one of the CRM soldiers will do it to him, or if he'll be brought back to and Terry O'Quinn, who's playing General Beale, will do this to him as punishment. That's what I kind of think it'll be, because I think they want to establish Terry O'Quinn as just really evil. So I think that's what they're going to do with that. I mean, they're going to want us to hate him from the very beginning and establish that he is bad. Kind of like how they did with Negan. When they brought Negan in, the first thing he did was kill Abraham and Glenn, and he was hated instantly. So I think they want that kind of effect for this villain. One more thing I want to talk about that I thought was interesting from the comicbook.com interview. The host states that he's seen the first 3 episodes, because they send them out for people to review. And he's talking to Andrew Lincoln, and they're talking about how the show was written and stuff, because Denai and Andrew wrote some episodes. I don't know how many. But so anyway, the interviewer has seen the first 3, and he says that he really liked the way, and he was shocked by the way they have the two characters come back together. So that was one of the questions I had. I was thinking like, okay, how many episodes are we gonna get into before we see the reunion of Rick and Michonne? And so we know that it's going to be in the first 3 episodes. I mean, there's only 6 episodes in the first season. Hopefully there'll be a second season. Maybe there might be. It kind of seems like Scott Gimple suggests there could be another one, but we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, it sounds like Rick and Michonne will be reunited in the first 3 episodes, and then maybe the last 3 episodes will build to a climax where they're trying to escape the CRM and maybe get Rick back home. I don't know. It may not get that far if there's going to be a second season. Who knows? Maybe Rick and Michonne will be captured and she'll get taken back, and then in the second season they'll be trying to get away. Right now, it's just speculation. I love doing this. I love making up theories for the show and trying to figure out what's going to happen. All right, well, that's really all I have for this video. If you liked what you saw and you made it to the end, if you're still here, maybe you can drop a sub for me, leave a like, a comment, all those things that help the channel out, to help the channel grow. And I will see you in the next one.